Hello everyone and welcome to another video. It is Francesco here. So in this video what we're going to be doing is taking a look at TickTick versus Todoist. These two applications are very similar. You guys have seen videos in the past where I talk about Todoist, and I've actually reviewed TickTick as well, and have been given a bit of time now to sort of sit down, overview some of the features and experiences you get with each of these. So what I wanted to do in this video is a head-to-head battle against Todoist versus TickTick. We're going to have specific rounds where each of the platforms and experiences can win against the other. So we'll have winners for each round and we'll do a full overview of all of the features. Now, if you are looking to choose between TickTick and Todoist, this should be the video that will help you. If you're worried about how long the video is, feel free to check out the PDF below. Naturally, if you just want to work out what the pros and cons to each one of them is, I will include that in the description below. So let's get stuck in Todoist versus TickTick, and we're going to go with round one, which is devices. Now let's start off with Todoist. Todoist has a lot of platforms. It's actually available, I believe, on 13 plus platforms. It has web, Android, Mac, PC, all of the Android tablet and obviously iOS tablets, iPads, and also the Apple Watch and also the Android Watch to Android Wear. It's also available as an extension on Chrome, Safari and Firefox, and available as an email add-on on Gmail and Outlook. Now TickTick pretty much has all of those experiences. It has Mac, iOS, Android tablets. It also has the Apple Watch and Android Wear. It also has the likes of Windows, however Windows is in preview at the moment. You've also got Chromebook on the TickTick experience, which I think Todoist might have shut down recently. It doesn't have any Gmail, Outlook or Safari experiences. So when it comes to winners on devices, both of them are really strong, available on a lot of platforms. However, Todoist is the winner just slightly here. So next category, structure. Now structure is important in a Todoist application. Being able to understand what the fixed structure is, so what experience you'll have without anything added, is obviously very valuable because layouts are important. So let's start with Todoist. Todoist has a pretty fixed layout. However, it's a little more flexible, I would say. It has a layout of inbox, and then it goes down to today, next 7 days, and then projects all the way down. So they're the three main categories you get, and then you have obviously projects area which you can manipulate. So on TickTick what you have is a slightly more fixed, you have more fixed layouts on the left hand side. So you have all, you have today, next 7 days, calendar, inbox. Then you have lists, which is essentially projects, a summary and beta, only available in beta at the moment, a completed section and trash. So in this section, there really isn't a winner. It really depends on what sort of layout you want. If you are more flexible and want a sort of more open layout, then Todoist is your winner. If you want a more fixed and rigid structure, then probably TickTick is going to be your experience winner. So for my personal preference, Todoist's flexible layout is a bit more easier for me. So when it comes to task input, this is task input. So this is when you add a task. What sort of things are you notified, prompted to add when you are trying to add a to-do in your to-do list? So on Todoist you have something called intelligent input, which is natural language. TickTick has something very similar to this. However, this is a very strong system and something that is very useful when it comes to task input. You have the ability to add projects, labels, reminders, priority, comments, and due dates as well. So they're all of the abilities that you can add once adding a to-do. Now on TickTick it's very similar, although you have a date, you have a time, a reminder, and also a repeat option. You have what project you want to add and the priority level 2, and it has a small level of natural language, so being able to add tomorrow at 1 PM will be detected. Now the winner here probably goes to Todoist. I slightly like their sort of ability to add a task quickly. That's one of the favorite things, quick add task. Although you have that on TickTick, I much prefer it on the experience on Todoist. Now it has slightly better language input as well, so you have the ability to add a wider range of subjects and projects. And once you understand it, you can add labels and filters as fast as you can. So it's a very useful experience. Now, next one is task context. Now, task context is really simple. It's the sort of context that you can add around a specific task. So, for example, you know, whether you can add comments, whether you can add more due dates, whether you can add checklists and notes and things like that. So, it's the abilities that you have within that task itself. So on Todoist, you have the ability to add reminders. You can duplicate one, which is a recent feature. You can add notes and comments, and you can even add comments via email too. You have the activity log, you have attachments where you can add from Dropbox, Google Drive, and also from your PC. You've got the ability to add per task audio recordings, any emojis that you like, and you also have the ability to archive that task. And finally, of course, you can add subtasks and parent tasks to any task that you have inside of Todoist. Now, when it comes to TickTick, you have a fairly similar experience, although you have subtasks and you have checklists inside that. Now, what I like about TickTick is it has a sort of a more open experience than Todoist, I would say. You have the ability to add a description, you can add a checklist, you can add follow task activities, all that's only available through Premium. You also have a print option, and you also have a print option, a panel design as well on the right hand side, which makes everything a little more intuitive to go to instead of having a pop-out window. And you also have the ability to add duration, which is a recently added feature in probably one of the latest versions of TickTick in July 2017. One of the things I think stands out in front of TickTick is the iconography. The beautiful iconography is really easy to get on with. I like how you can indicate whether something's a checklist or whether something's in progress or even almost completed, and you can actually indicate the level of how far you've completed a task. So for example, percentage on how much you complete a task. So you can see, okay, I've completed that one 60%, and actually see the iconography change based on that small indication that you are progressing with the task. And that's why I want to give TickTick the winner in this one. Although I know Todoist add a lot of abilities here, I think TickTick has a slightly better experience, and this is only minor, but again, very useful, being able to add all of those context abilities. So when it comes to projects, I think this is where it defines each of the to-do lists. So Todoist has a lot of functions inside. It's quite advanced. You've got a calendar feed. If you want to see a specific project calendar feed, that's something that you can subscribe to. You can share projects with other people. You can email tasks into a specific project. You can import and export. You can add comments, attach and assign items to other people. You can add sub-projects, and you can also add headers all within those project lists. Inside of TickTick, if you were to create a list or a project, you have the ability to share it. You have basic functionality around that too, and you can connect it to your TickTick calendar too, which is a pro function, but allows you to follow each feed of each list, and it's a good way to keep in touch of that with your calendar. And you've also got smart list functions, which is essentially like Todoist filters. Now, the winner of this round, the projects round, is Todoist, mainly because Todoist offers something called templates, which is a pretty advanced feature. It allows you to basically capture a successful project and replicate it again in another project, or keep it for later for when you need certain context inside of a project. So next thing is integrations. Integrations are probably a quite important part of to-do list applications. What I would say with integrations is you have the ability to connect it to the other apps and services as a way to reduce experiences necessarily. You don't want to be jumping necessarily between two applications because that's pretty messy. So bringing them together in some sort of coordinated workflow, or even when you're doing something, helps really do bring things together. Todoist has, I think it's 20 plus integrations. There's a full integrations page below, has quite a range of them. It's been around for a lot longer, I would say. I believe it's been around for like 3 or 4 more years than TickTick, so it's actually had a lot more time to build those relationships with other applications. And it also has the ability to connect with sites like Zapier and IFTTT. Now, TickTick doesn't have any. It has, I think you can custom Zapier connect it with our apps, but that's probably one area it's lacking the most in. It actually has the ability to connect up with calendar applications, which is only because it has the subscriptions to the calendar and works almost like a calendar. So that's the only ability that it has, I guess, slightly above Todoist, but something we'll talk about a little later. So that probably gives the winner of the integration section to Todoist, which I think is probably a leader when it comes to integrations. So layouts are very important. I personally judge an application by its layout, and I like when I see a good range of layouts. One application that really stands out a lot of the time is apps like Trello, like ZenKit, and ones that have Calendars 5, ones that have like a lot of options that allow you to modify the experience for yourself, because you might not work in one style, but you have the ability to quickly modify it to that new style or a slightly different style. Now for Todoist, you have the project list view, which I personally really like. It's very simple and easy to get on with. And it also has the basic list view. You've got today and next 7 days, which indicates the next 7 days of tasks. And if you like, you can create any filter as well, which will give you a specific view in any sense. Like, for example, a filter is pro feature, by the way, but if you wanted to create a filter on like 3 days with only P1 tasks, priority 1 tasks, then you can. Very similar to the likes of TickTick, that does have smart lists, which give you the ability to change the view. You've also got calendar view inside of TickTick, which actually gives you the ability to see tasks inside of your calendar. But apart from that, you've got the basic list view and also a project view as well. You can see a list of completed tasks. However, you can see that in Todoist with their completed tasks section. For this reason, I probably want to give the winner to that area to TickTick, because they have the calendar function, which does give you another layer. It's a 2-in-1 experience for you, so that is the reason why I'll give it the winner. However, I do think the filters feature, once understood and fully comprehended, you can create a Todoist experience to your liking. Moving on to usability, obviously everyday usability, using it in context, that means offline, online and things like that, is very important. Now Todoist is fairly easy to get on with anyway. It's one of the popular to-do list applications out there, and if you're someone who just wants to get started, but also wants to go really advanced, then this might be the application for you, because you have the ability to just stick basically and to go a much deeper with your experience. TickTick, on the other hand, I would say can't allow you to go as advanced as Todoist, but does have a pretty friendly experience. What I recommend it as is a Wunderlist experience. It's more of a advanced Wunderlist application. So it allows you to obviously use a calendar function. It's quite friendly in that, and it also has the ability to add themes and things like that, which makes the experience a lot easier to handle, more customizable, more personable. So that's one of the reasons why I want to give TickTick probably the winner here, because it's basically an easy experience. It's one of those ones that are pretty easy to get on with. However, a notable mention to Todoist, because obviously you have an application that you can use in an easy situation and an advanced situation, which is basically in the entire market. So Todoist, kudos on that one. So the next one, calendar. Obviously calendar is a slightly important experience in a to-do list application. I don't recommend connecting your calendar to do a to-do list application, but if it has an integration with it, why not? Todoist is a good example. Todoist have the ability, even before the two-way integration with Google Calendar, it had the ability to connect up with Apple Cal and a couple of other calendars. You can actually import tasks and projects based on, like a specific project in Todoist to your calendar, and actually import those and export those quite easily. But this two-way integration, native integration now, actually allows it to be changed pretty efficiently. So definitely check that one out in the description below. TickTick has everything built in. You've got the calendar function there. You can also enable the mini calendar inside of the settings page, and also you have the ability to subscribe to any of the calendar feeds there. So it's pretty easy to handle. So when it comes to the calendar area, the winner is TickTick, because if you want a calendar experience inside of the to-do-list application, this is the most built-in one and one that you can get on the easiest. The final section I would mention is pricing. Pricing is an important part of a to-do list application. These applications are pretty steady. So you've got TickTick, which is, I believe, $27.99, and also has a monthly option of £2.79 per month, which I'll include in the description below to links to there, because they always change, and Todoist, which is $28.99 per year. Now, just a notable mention on this, I think winner here is Todoist, because it has a lot more packed in terms of projects and abilities with other people than just the basic experiences in TickTick. It allows you to go a bit more advanced if you're someone who wants to go deeper later on. So you actually end up probably saving money with Todoist versus TickTick, because if you want to upgrade from a basic experience, like in Todoist, then you can upgrade to an advanced one with pretty much no fee involved. So other notable mentions as well, Todoist has a few more features like themes that makes it pretty easy to get on with. It has preferences where you can change all of your time and information. It also has a pretty advanced settings area where you can modify things like the backlog and what apps you're connected to, etc., and integrations. Obviously I mentioned integrations. You've got Todoist Karma as well, so it tracks your productivity as you go about your day and gives you an indication of how productive you can be, streaks and things like that, which is a nice addition. You've got notifications in both of these applications, but you also have team abilities in Todoist, a little more than you do in TickTick. Now TickTick, its notable features I would say are the themes. You've got a lot of beautiful themes. It takes a sort of hint of Microsoft To Do in there and Trello, sort of those experiences, but actually has a really nice themes experience, slightly better than Todoist I would say, only for making it personalized, and also smart lists which really do drag things out the bag. So when it comes to making that vital decision, what application should I go with, it's up to you. Like, I will add in that PDF and below some pros and cons, what I think each one is good for, which situation is good for, but Todoist I would say is an application that works well, and it's more for people who want to go from easy to advanced but stick with the same application. It's something that the more you learn about, the better you get at it, and it has a lot of team-based experiences, and I would say it's a more professional to-do list application. Whereas TickTick, if you're using it more for personal and a little bit of professional, then I would give it a recommendation. It does have some advanced function, but doesn't go so deep that you can go really far, but actually gives you a good solid experience to get on with. Now, as you can imagine, it's really you can choose. They're very similar, very well priced, very well put together, but it really depends on what features and experiences you most enjoy. For me, Todoist is a winner because I use it on a daily basis. I've obviously played around with TickTick, and Todoist has really stood out a little more than me, a little more than TickTick naturally, and I find the experience pretty easy to get on with. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on TickTick versus Todoist. Again, PDF will be below, that's free, you don't have to enter your email or anything like that, so just go and access it below and you'll get all of the information. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We put out regular videos and ones that I know you enjoy, so feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, I just want to thank you very much. Let me know in the comments whether you use Todoist or TickTick, or whether you're having a few more questions, because we're happy to answer them. There'll be Todoist fans here, there'll be TickTick fans here, so they'll be ready to answer questions in the description below, in the comments below, sorry, and something that I think you'll enjoy. Anyway guys, make sure to have a great day, keep productive, and I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.